You are welcome. So
So
we are
we are
live.
live now. We are
Okay.
live on Facebook, on YouTube, and then on Twitter.
Yeah, is there a way to tag me so that people can that so that you can
Yes,
the
I'm doing
video?
that right away.
That's good. So people have been asking me, so they'll
Yes.
tag.
And also, I don't know, are you able to see Facebook? Maybe you can share it as well.
Okay.
Because
Okay. Let me
I'm
go.
not able to use my laptop, but
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Now I am. We are live now. I can share.
yes, sir. Thank you
Yeah, I
very
will share this. Let me
much.
see. Yeah, I think I've done that.
Yes, sir. So then we are good to go now, sir. Thank you. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. We are live on Facebook at Philip Olabisi, on YouTube, and then on Twitter. And we are very delighted to have. Um, Fortunately, in this lockdown, this is going to be my 38th session, unbelievably, and it's been very exciting, fulfilling for me to be able to um, talk on various topics that affect young people, particularly the people that I categorize myself as part of. And one of the most important things I found out is about this issue of academics. And is there anything beyond academics, going to school, getting the best of grades? When we get to the real life, is there something else that I need to do or should be doing? And that's one of the reasons why I got inspired to do this. And Engineer Johnson is always available to talk to young people at any time, and it's a great privilege to be connected and associated with you. So we are delighted to have Engineer Johnson with us today, and it's going to be a very exciting time. When I reached out to people that I'm doing this, people sent questions already, even before the session started. So I said, okay, and it's not very common. That
Yeah.
means it must be an issue of concern for people to send in their questions before the session even began. That is very, very significant for me. So I believe it's going to be a very great time. And I want to thank you very much, sir, for all that you do for young people. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. So, sir, when the issue of academic excellence comes to you, because we need to also provide a balance so that people don't think we are trying to discredit or debase excellence in academics. So, what, what is academic excellence to you?
Okay. Thank you so much. First of all, before I answer your question, I want to appreciate you for what you have been doing. I want to thank you for creating this platform where you have engaged a number of people on various topics. I watch a few of them. I will go back and watch a few of them. So I want to appreciate you for that, for yielding to the call and making yourself available. And then I say this as a privilege to share some thoughts about academic excellence. Like you said, it is not that what we intend to do is to discredit academic excellence. No, in the course of this talk, I know we are going to get to that point where we let you know that we are not just trying to discredit academic excellence. In fact, I encourage it and we encourage it. I'm an advocate of good grades. I'm an advocate of good results. And that means that I will always speak to that every time. But beyond the four walls of the university is life. Life does not end in the four walls of the school. So I think that is the premise upon which we are creating this topic. In that your life, it does not only exist in the school or in the academics. So before we go further into that discussion, like you said, back to your question that what is academic excellence? I see academic excellence as the ability to perform or excel in a scholastic activity or in scholastic activities. I mean, that are based on well-defined syllabus,
Okay.
textbook, or arrangements. So that means that in an academic environment, if you are able to excel in such in scholastic activities that are predefined by textbooks, that are predefined by different arrangements, that are predefined by a number of things, they are going to be successful academically. Now, the end goal of any academic pursuit is good grades.
Mm.
Period. That is the end goal of any academic pursuit. So we say that somebody is academically excellent if they have more A's than D's than C's. I mean, we say they are academic excellent. They are academically excellent if they can write an exam and excel,
Mm.
score perfect grades, have ace their exams and stuff like that. That is when we say somebody is academically excellent and that person has academic excellence. Now, there are steps that anybody needs to go through in order to excel academically. It's not tough. It's only something that is regimental. I mean, it's
Mm.
something that you want to follow it sequentially. You want to follow the steps, and you are able to discipline yourself to do it repeatedly. You are going to be successful academically. Number one, like take for example somebody that just gained admission into a university. For example, simple, you are just into a university, or somebody that just returned to school. Take for example some of our students around this part of the world, and so many parts of the world too, they have just resumed for a new academic session. Now, how do you now excel academically in a new session like this? Number one is to set goals. There is no way you can excel in any endeavor if you don't have a goal. You set a goal. What exactly do you want to achieve in this semester? What exactly do you want to achieve in this session? How many A's do you want to score in your courses? What do you want? Where do you want to find yourself at the end of the semester? That's number one. You set goals. And these are just academic goals. Academic goals for each of your courses. Each of the courses you are taking. You're taking 5 courses, you're taking 10 courses. You set goals. Number two is to attend lectures. Attend classes. I mean, I cannot overstretch that. I mean, attend classes. No matter how you feel your professors are not good, they are there to teach you. If they are not good in the first instance, they will not be employed. So you have to attend classes. There will be points from the classes that would help you in the exam. Number three is to have positive attitude. Now, what do I mean by that? There are a number of people you are going to speak with, and they will tell you that, no, this course that you are going for, it's tough. You shouldn't go into it. It's tough. Nobody has ever had this or that. I remember, just a very quick story. I remember when I was admitted to the Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti to study mechanical engineering for my associate degree. I met one senior colleague. Then he used to stay in our area. So he told me, Johnson, how are you? So you are now in Federal Poly. I said, yes, sir. What course are you studying? I said, I'm studying mechanical engineering. He said, wow. Mechanical engineering, that is poly medicine. He said, this is poly medicine. You have to be. Are you sure you are good in mathematics and further maths? Apparently that guy was struggling in the electrical engineering he was studying. He was struggling. So I felt if I hang around this guy too much, it's going to influence me in the way that I wouldn't like.
Okay, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
All
Just
right.
because there are already 2 questions from your introduction, and we are not even. Now, because you mentioned positive attitude and also attending lectures,
Yes.
somebody is asking a question. Because I cannot use my other system, the questions will have been displayed
Okay.
automatically. But I'm checking out using another device.
Okay.
So one question is that you said attending lectures and all of those things regimented. Somebody said, do you believe there are some people that are born geniuses? That don't need to attend, that they are just smart from birth, and all of this regimented lifestyle does not really determine whether they are going to excel academically or not.
Okay. Thank you for that. I believe there are geniuses. I believe. I mean, they exist. But how many of them do we have?
Okay.
Now, you can unpick them throughout the existence of the world. The world is thousands of years. You can count how many geniuses you have been able to, and then it all depends on how you define that. Okay, somebody is a genius or not. Now, but in the real definition of geniuses, then we can unpick them. So the points I've been making, they are making them not for geniuses, but for people that are ordinary like myself. Ordinary like myself, that this is what you need, and what I'm telling you, it's not something it's not fable. There are things that I have tried
So they are
and that
provable.
worked for me.
So they are provable.
They are, of course, and I know Mr. Philip has also tried them, and that was why he was able to graduate from his school with a first class. So they are not fables. They are not like something that has not been experimented or tried. So there are things. Whenever I start a session, whenever I start a semester, I have my goals for that semester. So and I know I have to attend classes. When it got to a point when I started attending classes, and some of my mates can bear me witness. Some of my classmates, when I later joined the OAU for my undergrad, they will bear me witness that it got to a point that the notes that I took in class, the notes that I took during lectures became lecture material or exam, let me say, became a material for some of my mates to study towards the exam. You can confirm from any of my mates. It got to a point that my jottings during during classes, coupled with my own personal study time, were always at the photocopying center. Now, people that knows Nigerian university very well, you know that we always have like a section where we have photocopiers. You go there, you make photocopies. My notes were being sold. I didn't make the money from that. People at that stage, they would just take the notes and take it to the photocopies and they would make copies. And my classmates would go there to pick them up. If I had not gone to class, I won't be able to take the note. One, my mate, and I have, by God's grace, I have good handwriting. Even at under speed, then now the handwriting are beginning to end because of so many other. But then my mate will get my notes, make photocopy, and study for the exams. So that is why it is good to attend classes. Now, it is good to attend classes. That is number 3. Number 4, okay, that is part of the having positive attitude. I said is
Yes, that's the second question. We are here to take the second question.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
You agree that there are geniuses,
Yes.
and then there are limited number of them in the world, and you are not sure. If you are not sure you're a genius, you have to apply the provable things that have been proven over. You don't know whether you are one of them, and then so apply what is working. So the second question somebody is asking is this: you mentioned positive attitude, and then somebody somebody believes that the person that spoke to you at that time was speaking from genuineness, not actually trying to make it sound difficult. Do you think there's a place for positive attitude and actually facing the facts from from history? How in this university that you went to, from history of the department, mechanical engineering,
Okay.
it has been proven that the engineering department has been like a den. People had to struggle to even come out with 2-1. Even the best of the students going through all the steps that you mentioned, and they did all of that. And then with all of those steps, they were still unable to hit their target and their goals. Are there situations whereby the person presented the fact to you, not necessarily negative attitude? And then what's the difference between negative attitude and positive attitude and facts that are available based on history?
Thank you so much for that question. I mean, um, I am talking, this is my own story.
Yes.
That guy, I found out that he was struggling. He was studying electrical engineering. He was struggling, right? Now, the reason why positive attitude is very important is that even in the face of facts now, is it true that mechanical engineering in that school is tough? Yes. Oh no, it's yeah. What does that mean? It means that knowing that this department is tough, or this course, in which I don't believe any department is tough, or any course is tough.
Mm.
Now, it's not that the course itself, maybe people there are making life difficult for students or stuff like that. The course itself is not tough. Now, then in my school, it was tough. When you are in mechanical engineering, you are actually in for a big deal. So, knowing that means that you need to now gather your together and always ensure that you are in the midst of people who can encourage you to do well. Now, that statement could have meant that I will say, wow, I think I can't do this. I would have just withdrawn from that department and go to another department that I feel is less difficult than mechanical engineering. But what I did was say, yeah, thank you for that information. I left the guy, and then I planned my own way on how I was going to excel in that same department. And by the grace of God, I graduated the second best student in that department. That by the time I was graduating, right? So having that positive means that I was able to live in, and I was able to attach myself to people that are doing well in that same department. Now, there is nothing new in becoming successful academically. There is nothing strange in becoming successful academically. It's all following the right path. Positive attitude that is coming from somebody who had actually gone through the process, who can guide you. Now, I love the words of Sir Isaac Newton, and I know so many people that have followed me. They know that I quote it a lot. He said, "If I have seen farther than others, it is because I am standing on the shoulders of giants." Now, if anybody would excel academically, or let me put it this way, if I have ever excelled academically, it is because I am standing, or I have stood then on the shoulders of giants. When I was in the Federal Polytechnic Advocate, I surrounded myself. Actually, as a matter of fact, I was floating. Okay, I will explain what I mean by that. If you have ever attended schools in Nigeria, and then you are in the hostel, they are the original hostel owner that were allocated to those rooms. They will have bed spaces, maybe upper bunk or lower bunks. Now, there are people who call them squatters. Squatters are people that can sleep 69. If you understand that concept, you sleep 69. Squatters. Then we have people, they call them floaters. Floaters means that you are not a squatter, you are not the original owner. You can be, you only sleep in that room if there are spaces either on the bed or on the floor. So I was a floater in a room with one of the best students in mechanical engineering then. I actually begged the guy that, can I come around and I don't mind, I can be floating. And I was with. And so being around that guy, that person, we are still friends today. Me and that person, we are still friends till today. So being around such people helped me to factor a lot of things into becoming the version of the person I became when I was in that school and when I graduated. The same thing happened to me when I moved to Ama. At the point I was in Yabate. Let me leave that story. And there's another point I was in Ife. When I was in Ife, I also surrounded myself with people that would help me develop my character, my positive character, positive attitude very well. There was one person I met in my penultimate session. I have tried to meet this person. The person till today we are still very close. He was the best student in our department then. As a matter of fact, at graduation, he was the second overall best student in the university. Now, when you are mingling with the day I met with this person, when I met with, I said, can I come and see you in your hostel? And then I went to him in his hostel and we spoke for hours. And he told me what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to get to then. Then that particular semester, I remember it was my part four semester. I was very close to making a first class. Very close. So he said, and I still have one more session. And he told me some things I needed to do to make. Sir, that very semester, I crossed over to a first class. And I maintained that till I graduated. What do I mean? When you are interacting with people who have gone ahead of you in certain area, you will not make it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. They just tell you in this area, this is what you need to do. In this, and that also it's what is needed in career when you step outside, which you're going to be talking about when you step outside of the university or the four walls of the university. So putting yourself in the midst of people that can actually help you to nurture that seed of greatness in you within the confine of the time you are in the university or in the school that you are. As a matter of fact, you can't spend four years or a 5-year program, and if you are studying medicine in Nigeria, maybe 6 years. That's all. Plus X for due to with that, you know that you only have this time, 5 years. You want to make sure you invest in it and get the best out of it. Because whatever you get from that time would help you, will launch you, will give you access to the other side of life, which is maybe career, your profession, and the likes. So having that positive attitude would help you. Then we have managing of your time. Very key. There is no way anybody can succeed in the university without proper management of time. Now, going back to people that are geniuses, yes. But that same genius, he needs to at least read for some time. Even if it's just
somebody sent something like Tong. I don't know whether you know Tong.
okay.
She said geniuses learn at a faster rate.
Yeah.
And assimilate faster than a regular person.
Yeah.
You should be able to see it on your screen.
Yeah, I think I just saw it now. I didn't know. I was not even looking at it. That is exactly.
So, but they still have to read. They still have to read.
And learn. Take for example, one of my very staunch beliefs is this: there is nobody that is dull. There is nobody that is not smart. Well, somebody can say, yeah, somebody is not smart. I do not believe that. God has given everybody brain. Bible says everything that God created were good. Everything was good, including everybody's brain. Now, the way we now make use of our brains and our times are what determines whether or not to succeed. Now, take for example, if there is one genius A, and a regular person like myself, and we have another person, different person. A genius might only need 2 hours to grasp one chapter of a textbook. 2 hours and then it's done. Call him 10 years after he has it, he will give it to you. Probably I need to study that same chapter for 10 hours. He needed to study for 2 hours and he will score A grade. I need to study for 10 hours for me to have my A grade. Maybe another person needs to study for 2 days. Now, the problem with us is that somebody that needs to study a textbook or a chapter for 2 days will be looking at a genius that needs just 2 hours, and after 2 hours, he will stand up himself too. After that guy, he will stand up himself, and then he will now think that he will have that same grade. No. That is exactly what happened back then when we are still in our schools. I remember some people will say they will say they are going to class in the night to go and study. Go and check them 30 minutes after. They are already sleeping on the table. And then they will wake up around 5 o'clock. I remember back then in Ife, people will call them Iwe that has slept all through the night. And a genius or anybody will go there, spend a couple of hours, grab whatever he has to grab, go back to his room and sleep. So you really need to understand yourself. A genius in the study. So management of time is part of the requirement to excel academically. You need to compartmentalize your time. I remember the semester that turned around my life, second semester 200 level, turned my life around. Turned my life. I still remember that semester like it happened yesterday. That semester, before I would leave my room in the morning, I usually have a short note. I have a to-do list. That my to-do list, it would cover everything I needed to do for that day. Any free hour, 30 minutes between lectures, I was spam in the library. And 1 hour, 2 hours, spam in the library, because I did not start my school, I did not start my program well in my first semester. I needed to make up for the lost grades. So that helped me. My brother, I'm not sure if I've managed my time that way till I left. Because once I now got the system within the school, then I was able to adjust some other things. But that semester, my brother, if I was not in class, in between classes, I was in the library. Time management is key. And after library, I was in the fellowship. I was living more like a triangular life. I needed to be on track. I have a lot on my head I must excel. Now, study your course material. Just like that will corroborate our point that geniuses also need to study. A genius in philosophy cannot suddenly become a genius in mechanical engineering. It's not going to happen. He needs to study. No matter how smart the person is, study the course material. Even if you feel you know more than your professor, still get the material he has provided, because he will set your questions from that material. Now, remember my definition of academic success. It is based on well-defined syllabus, texts, and arrangements. So that means that you already have a boundary of what you should be studying, so to say. You only need to do extra if you need to. A bit extra would help you, because there are some professors back then when they are still in Nigeria that want to play, they want to dribble you. So if you do a little bit extra, you help yourself. Now, you need to teach others. Now, talking about excelling academically, you need to teach others. Now, you too, if you need help, ask for help. So I don't know if I can how much I can expatiate that. So many people that feels they know so much, they find it difficult to ask for help. And in doing so, they are not going to be able to maximize their potentials. Take for example, if I know how to solve an equation using a particular method, that method will take me 20 lines of steps to get to my final answer. Perhaps there is somebody studying beside me on my class that has a better method that within 5 lines, you are going to get the answer. I'll be doing myself a disservice by not asking for such help. Well, Philip, I can see that you are solving this problem with how are you going about that? Telling me that might save me 2, 3, 4 minutes in my exams. That is, if I need to ask help, I ask for help. I tell people, even if a 5-year-old person is telling me I know something and I know I do not know it, I always bring myself low. Please teach me. Then teaching others will make you have mastery over that concept. I did that. It's something that worked for me and is working for me. Teaching others things doesn't. I know some people are always afraid that if they teach people, they will not remember something. That is not true. That is not true. When you teach others, you know more and you know better. In the process of teaching others, they will indirectly teach you. Now, somebody said, if you want to learn a faster way of doing something, give it to a lazy man. He will go through the shortcuts. There are some, like I mentioned, there are some steps to solving certain problems that I got in the process of teaching others that are not ready to go through the long way. Let's just. What are you look at it and then you look at it. This is true, and then you go with that. So teaching others makes you gain mastery, and then prepare for your exams. It is exam. You are going to face it. Prepare for it. And how do you prepare for your exam? From day one. From the first day of the semester. Day one. Now, some people will think our exam is just in 4 months. Don't you know that your scores are cumulative? Whatever you do from day one would eventually catch up whatever you're going to get in your final exams. And then go and write your exam. Final point, write your exam, and you have good grades. But one thing you have to understand is this. There's a place of understanding yourself. How much time do you need to study for you to grasp a particular concept? I made reference to that when we were talking about geniuses. Do I need to read a concept once? Do I need to read it twice? Do I need to read it 3 times? Now, if I have to read a textbook, a chapter 3 times before I can get it, I better know that this is me. And I'll make sure I invest that time to read it 3 times so that I know that even if somebody is reading it in 2 hours, we are on the same page after my 3rd try, because give me the question, I will solve. So understand yourself. Do not look at others. Do not look at others. You have your own life. Maintain your lane. Know how much you need. And then once you are saturated, don't deceive yourself that you have, because Brad Philip is now reading for 10 hours. I have to go 10 hours. You are only your effective time might not be more than 2 hours. Now, take for example, I know sometimes I watch some of our children church teachers, the way they train the children. Some age brackets, their attention span is just 15 minutes. Anything after 15 minutes, they are already playing. The same thing for you. Maybe your concentration span is just 1 hour. Spend that 1 hour judiciously, invest it, and then move on. And then follow the remaining steps. Everything will be fine. Yeah, I don't know if I have answered the question to the steps. So achieving academic excellence.
Yeah, so the question has been answered.
Okay.
So some people are always very concerned and then somebody did not start well. I think you have answered one question. Somebody said he didn't start well, so he's already apprehensive
Okay.
about building up. CGPA is very difficult to build up because it's cumulative. You cannot, maybe first year you didn't do well, you played. It's second year, it's going to be more, and then so the person is already in third year now,
Okay.
and then the CGPA is not looking good.
Okay.
So there's apprehension already. I can do better than this, but he's already giving up. That was the point anymore. No matter how much I try now, it's not going to hit the mark.
Okay.
What would you advise that person at this time?
Okay. Thank you for that question. As much as I am an advocate of good grades, I believe in process. Eventually, it is not what you get or what you achieve that matters, but what you become. I'll repeat that again. It is not what you achieve eventually that matters. It is what you become in the process of achieving that goal. So that means that now, even goal setting in itself and attaining that goal or achieving that goal is not the purpose for which you have set out that goal. No, it is what you will become in the process that you go through, and how much your life will change as a result of you pursuing that goal that really matters. Now, back to that person's question. This is the advice I give people. What do you think is your best effort? If I ask anybody, people that are very close to me, that I mentor, that I talk to, and it's not just limited to people that are maybe younger ones in church or people that I mentor randomly. This is something that I applied it to my own younger siblings. Say, no, come here. If at the end of the semester, if you can beat your chest, now this might sound like, what is this guy saying? But this is me. If you can beat your chest that Johnson, this is the best I can offer, and it's a D. If you can beat your chest and you are sure in your heart of hearts, that the best you can get from that course after you have now. This is one of the questions. This is tricky. This is a very tricky part. You must be able to say, I couldn't have done anything extra. Now, that is it. Johnson, I couldn't go the extra length. This is the best. If you can bear yourself witness with God, then I'm okay. That the best you can have is a D in that course. Now, going back to somebody that has that grade, if from the person's question, it's already evident that the person feels I can do better.
Yeah.
Then the point should now be, how can I do better? What do I need to do to get better? Then you go back to the steps. You set your goals. If I need to hit this target, how many A's should I have? Take for example, somebody that is going to make a first class in Nigeria setting now, or anybody that is going to make a first class even in Canada, for example, you know that you must be having about between 70 to 80% of your courses at A grades.
Yeah.
So that should be a target. Now, if you have messed up your previous semesters and you only have a couple of semesters, now imagine what it will make of you if you are able to consistently between now and the end of the program hit first class. By the time you get outside, which will be the second phase of our discussion, by the time you get outside, that is what would help you, because there is now belief in you that you can do anything that you set your heart to do. You suddenly realize that, wow, so I can take a first class. So I can do this, that push, that same enthusiasm,
Yeah.
that same discovery will make you to challenge just anything, not just professional or academics. It will make you set goals that are daunting for yourself and say, yes, I can do this. Not even if I don't get it, but what it will make of me. No, it's the same thing for somebody. I was listening to this guy, this person, Jim Won. Jim Won said he became a millionaire at age 31. Now, he suddenly discovered how to get to becoming a millionaire at age 25. 6 years after, he became a millionaire. I think 2 or 3 years after, he lost everything. He was not perturbed. Why? Because he had built himself. He understood what he needed to do to become a millionaire again.
Yes.
So the point is, do not look at, well, you can focus on it, but look at what it will make of you. That is what I want you to get into. So imagine you starting to set your goals at making first class every semester till you graduate. And then imagine you using that same stream of work, of energy into your profession. You'll be a star.
Thank you very much, sir. So that's what you're emphasizing is that attitude, the change of attitude is very important for now. Let's get to our discussion because I don't want us to miss very important thing because times are changing, sir.
Mm.
Comparing when you did your first degree and now, what will you consider are the things that has changed with time in terms of the markets, in terms of the world at large? What are those things that you have seen that has changed and you think that generation now and those coming in terms of academics, in terms of success in career, business, entrepreneurship, those are the things that you think timeless truths and those things that has evolved. What are those things that you have seen?
Thank you so much for that question. Before I answer that question, and I think I'm going to answer it, I'm also in the process of the point I'm going to be giving you now. I'm going to answer the question. Now, having laid the foundation that I am all for good grades.
Yes,
Oh yeah, I'm all for good grades. We are not having this discussion because we struggle to make good grades in school. You just want to eye under that. No. But beyond good grades, you have to understand that life is more serious than just having a perfect GPA.
Mm.
Life generally is much more. It's very, very serious than having a perfect GPA. Number 2 point I want you to note that is this. Your grades can take you through the doors of a company. It takes other things much more than grades for you to remain relevant in that profession. We're going to be talking about that. So just trying to give you that point. Your grades, of course, because you have good grades, they will say, yeah, like in Nigeria, for example, they will say, yeah, must have a 2-1 or something like that, or a 2-2, whatever, before they can even call you for interview. They say, yeah, in here, this part of the world, they say you must graduate. Yes, sometimes if it is your first job, they want you to quote your GPA.
Mm.
There. Yes, it's for a reason. And why? They feel that if you can, if you have been able to put in effort to have this in your academics, then you should be able to do well in the company. However, they are not just going to train you or expect you to be working just to have grades. No, it's not for grades. At that anything grades at that point, you want to score A, even though they are going to be evaluated, yes, but it's not going to be the way you were taught in school. You know, in school, you have textbooks, you have material that you study to have A's and B's. Here, you need much more than textbooks. Now, you have to know that your perfect GPA will become obsolete. Now, I'm using that word loosely now. Obsolete. The moment your school graduates another set of students. Why do I say obsolete? So many of us, we have made our first class now more than 10 years ago. Are you now going to be going around bragging that you are a first class graduate 10 years after? Yes, you made it, but the question is, how much have you made out of your first class degrees? That is the key. That is the key. What has your first class degree helped you to achieve? Are you just a first class in books and a pass or a third class in life? You have seen a number of people that are very sound in school and are having challenges outside of school. Not because they are not smart, but because they don't have those things that are needed to make it in life beyond the four walls of school. Now, look at, there's a very simple one. Now, some people, even in school, ask them any question outside of books. They are blank. Ask them questions about current affairs. They don't know what is happening. Some people they don't know, they don't watch or don't anything that is outside books. They don't know. How then do you relate with your colleagues at work when they bring up topics? I remember a few years ago when here in Winnipeg, our own very Winnipeg Jets were doing well at the NHL. You know that every Monday or the following day after each match, that time they got into the playoffs. After each match, to the president of the company, they will discuss about hockey.
All of us are going to wear our.
Everybody, this all-white party. Every day doing it in downtown. Now, if all you know and all you want to know is good, you are going to be an outlier in that company, and they will feel like, what is wrong with this person? That is why you need much more. In that case, you don't need grades to blend. You don't need grades. Your grades at that point is because at that point they are looking for fits. Let me put it this way: companies look for fits. Okay, so after beyond your graduation, companies need fit. How do you fit into the team they have already? Now, I need to tell you that. What are the other things that you are bringing on the table beyond your grades? Grade is just one part. Now, even let's look at it. Even in the academic environment, maybe after your first degree, you want to apply to a master's or a PhD. Your grade is just one part of the application. There are other things that are going to be considered. Your statement of purpose, your references are part of it, and also they will look at, okay, do they have the space to absorb you? Plus the proposal you are making for your research. Do we have space for that? Do we have capability for that? Does your research proposal align with ours? And that is what some of the companies will be checking during their behavioral questions in your interview. Yes. How much do you relate? How can we align your own principles, your own what you believe with what we believe here? And that is beyond your grades.
Yes.
Now, I want you to know this, that a first-class grade or first-class degree without a corresponding first-class life is a waste of grades. I'll repeat that again. A first-class degree without a corresponding first-class life is a waste of grades. I'm going to be expatiating on that maybe in the course of other questions. Now, if after you have gone through school and you made a first class, and your life currently does not match the first class you have in school, or you don't intend and it's not looking like it, then probably it would have been better if you had graduated with a 2-2, because you won't have too much pressure on you to excel. If you graduate, if you had after your school in the university, you graduated with a first class. I was speaking when I was discussing with Brother Philip, I told them you have extra pressure to do well. You have extra pressure on you because people will look at you like you are the first class, you should know everything. And that is not true. And that will put extra pressure on you to ensure that you do well in life. So you must always be thinking beyond your grades. Your grades only will not give you a good life. It will give you a platform. But if you lack some skills, which I'm going to be expatiating on, you are not going to make a first-class life. Now, what can you do? Leverage on your grades. Leverage on your ability. Leverage on your first class, on your summa cum laude that you have, and launch yourself to a greater height in life and in career. So what are those skills that I've seen in my short span in career now that I feel you need? I have also had my own fair share of mistakes, mind you. So I'm not telling you that I've gotten it perfectly. No, I've made mistakes too, even in the course of my career. Now, you must know, number one skill is your decision-making skill. We live in a fast-paced world now. Your ability to make quick decisions that are accurate is very key. You must be able to now imagine you are working in a company and something happened and you need to make a decision now. Would that be the time you are going to be opening your textbooks? No. Your decision-making ability on the spot most of the time is key to you holding on to your job. Because failure to get it right with that decision can spell doom for that company. Number two, I mentioned it the other time that you need time management to excel in academics. You also need time management to excel in life. Everybody has 24 hours every day. That is one thing I know. God gave everybody equally. Again, you cannot stretch it, you cannot shrink it. It is 24 hours. What makes the difference is what you put into those hours, what you invest your time into. The more productive activities you invest your time into, the more productive the day will become. Time management is also part of personal development. There is a place of personal development. Personal development might involve that, okay, yes, I'm a mechanical engineer by training. I need to get some management sense. Does that mean I have to go to school? If need be, go back to school. Get a management course. Does that mean I have to take extra classes for management? Oh, yes, I take it because I know that at some point in my life, I will not just be an engineer. I'll be making decisions, I'll be in the management, I'll be managing people, I'll be managing resources. So if all I know is just technical, I will be an outlier in that setting. That is why you need to personally develop yourself. What are the things that I need to do? People that are in this career, people that are in this profession, what else do they do? We have seen a number of people that will study a particular course, and then they would switch to another program. Why? Because they have been able to develop themselves personally. Take for example, haven't you heard about? Now I think I've seen this over and over again. A number of people that studied engineering, especially chemical engineering, they are working in investment banks now. All those business investment banks or the JP Morgan and the likes, you see engineers there. Why? Because the company feels that they need their kind of brain, their analytical brain. They will train them. They have the tools are there for them, then they will train them. I think I heard a story. You know, I was there when I was saying it. Somebody that was working in the bank, he studied Yoruba or geography, something like that, and is the head of a unit in the bank. How can you reconcile somebody that graduated with Yoruba to the bank? No, the person developed himself personally. I was talking with a friend recently who has a company, an engineering firm back in Nigeria. He told me, he said, Johnson, there's somebody in our team that studied business administration. We train this person to become an engineer in our own profession. So you need time management, you need personal development. I cannot overemphasize the need for personal development. You need to know who you are. Sometimes when you are in school, you don't know yourself. But the school, there's a way the school conditions our brain that you, of course, all you are thinking about is your next exam, is your next test, is your next assignment. And mind you, sir, say for example, if you are 30 years now and you have graduated from school, from the university, for example, then you remove that 5 years from your life. You have only spent 5 years in the university. You have spent 25 outside of the university. Now, extrapolate that to when you are going to die, maybe at age 80 or age 90, and look at how much time, how much infinitesimally small the time you are going to spend in school is compared to your overall lifestyle, your overall lifespan. Now, what does that mean? It means that you must begin to think, if you are in school now, as much as you want to excel in your academics, you must begin to think beyond just making A. You know, what other thing am I bringing on the table? Take, for example, myself and Mr. Philip, we are applying to the same job. He made the first class, I made the first class. What will distinguish both of us? They are the little subtle things. Okay, maybe I will tell them that, okay, maybe Mr. Philip studied engineering like myself, and also studied engineering. Okay, I know how to use CAD. Maybe he doesn't know how to use CAD, or he also understands data analysis. Something will set you apart. Those are the things you need to start working on. Beyond having good grades will only get you into the system. You need much more than good grades to keep you within the system. Now, number 3 or number 4 is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, you need that. Nobody, usually, they don't teach that in the university. You need to be emotionally intelligent. Always put yourself in the shoes of others. Look at things from the perspective of others. Be empathetic with people. Don't just be the technical person that is just this, and if you don't be you must be able to read body languages. Your ability to read body languages will help you to know how to respond to questions, how to handle situations. Read body languages. Look beyond. You must be able to understand beyond what the person is saying. Some people can say certain things, and at the back of their minds, they mean different things entirely. It is the sharpness in your emotional intelligence that will make you to know that it's not your IQ. It's not your good grades that will help you to do that. It is you sharpening your emotional intelligence to know that what this person is telling you is not actually true. They meant different things. And then you know that, okay, this is the way to approach things. Emotional intelligence. You need that. You need that. You need that. I cannot overemphasize that. Another thing is social interaction. I suffered with this when I was still younger in my career. I'm still a young person actually, anyways. But when I mean social, when back then in school, the belief is that in my generation, the belief is that when you are too social, you are not smart. You not be smart. When you are too outgoing, there is nothing in your brain. That followed me throughout my secondary school. Ask Johnson to come and snap picture, I will run away. As I am not sure if I have any secondary school picture, and now I'm feeling bad. I mean, I typically will run. I feel, what has that got to do with my physics? What has that got to do with my chemistry? What has that got to do with my mathematics? I will run away. Social interaction, it is key, because at the end of the day, even though within the school system, all that matters are your grades. They don't grade your social interaction in school. The only thing that will end this social interaction is when maybe your department, they will give you award, best social, maybe, or something like that. But what matters in school is just great. But you have to be thinking beyond school. And if you are out of school, you must be able, now start to engage and invest in your social interactions. How well can you start a conversation with a stranger? Can you introduce yourself within 5 seconds and let somebody know who you are? They call it what do they call it now? Elevator speech.
Yeah.
Elevator speech. You are in the elevator, you are going from floor 2 to floor 4. And you need to tell somebody, I need to tell Mr. Philip who I am, who am I, who exactly I am. Within that 5 seconds, you want to train yourself on that. That is what will set you apart in your career. And then, as another side to that is social capital. How much are you investing into others? It's and that might come in the form of volunteering. You volunteer. It's not everything that is about money. Now, something happened to me. Just this very recently. I did something for someone. When the person shared his idea for doing that, I never thought of it that I would need that person's help down the line. Never. They just shared an idea with me, and I saw sense. So yeah, this makes sense, and I supported the person based on whatever I was able to do. That okay, I did that, and everybody was fine. Down the line, I found that person is holding something that I needed for somebody, not even for myself again. Now, somebody needed help, and I know that this person, one way or the other, has this thing. Now, after that thing now materialized, the beneficiary was telling me that person told him that he wouldn't have done it if Johnson had not done this and believed in his dream. There is need for you to invest in other people, not because of what you are going to get from them, but for them to become better in life. Your social, and probably by providence, they might be in a position to help you. Mind you, you are not doing it because you want to get something from them. You are just doing it because you have the capacity to do it. And it doesn't have to be money, mind you. It doesn't have to be this. It might just be your time. It might just be calling them. Like the period we are now, it's unprecedented. People are going through different, difficult, challenging time. A call of hello, Mr. Philip, how are you doing? Can be one thing that person needs for that night for them to sleep in peace. Invest in people. Pay it forward. Now, I said that if I had achieved anything academically and in career, Most of the time, I always refer to some people on whose shoulders I stood. Now, if you are going to help other people, if you want people to also be able to excel in life, you want to also pay it forward. Now, your health is very key. You don't want to joke with your health. I know, if you are in school, you don't, most of the time you might say, yeah, once, and I've done that several times. Say, yeah, let me. Once I finish the exam, if I die, I die. Let me finish the exam. After that, if I crash, I will be fine again. Please take care of your health. Mind what you consume, because it is when you have good health that you can enjoy the benefit of your career. Invest in your health. Exercise. Eat good food, not junks. By the time you make the money, you have the good job, and you don't have the good body to enjoy the money. So what is the essence? Why do you have to go to? So make sure you keep. Even the Bible says, bodily exercise profited but little. But that little, maximize it. Maximize that little so that you can enjoy your career. You want to improve your communication. You want to improve how you relate to people, either on social media or now. Look at some people they just comment anyhow on posts. You don't know, probably your future employer will be reading your social media posts. I have one of my friends that got a fantastic job so many years ago told me that in Winnipeg, he told me that that organization had to go through his social media posts. This is a high profile job. They went through it before they could offer the job. Now imagine if he had been very derogatory in some of his comments or posts, probably would have lost the opportunity. You want to be careful, and that is one. And even the way you talk with people in this part of the world, some of us that came from abroad, we have to learn how to talk slowly. Because by the time you talk the way we talk in Nigeria, they will not hear one word. So you want to be able to train yourself to talk slowly. You are not rushing anywhere. The essence of communication is for the other person to understand what you are saying. And it's not the amount of words you're able to speak per minute, but the understanding that person gets from the words. If you have short, maybe few words, and it makes sense, it's better than one paragraph that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Both verbal and orally, you want to improve on that. Now, you want to learn how to collaborate. When I was in school, I'm always referring to myself, I'm a one-man battalion. They call me one-man battalion because once I get into the examination hall, I don't know anybody. In fact, I was always sitting down in the front. So you want to develop collaboration, learn how to relate with people, learn how to collaborate, learn how to ask questions. You don't know it all. You have to believe that somebody is better than you, one way or the other. You're always in your department, even right now that you are working, but in that field, somebody is better than you. So you have to learn to collaborate, learn to ask questions. It is in the process of asking questions that you learn more, you understand more, you know your next step. Learn to network. I know that my business of questions, I have one or 2 points again. Learn to network with people. Don't just go for programs, go to seminars, attend. Just network. Somebody said your network determines your net worth. You can hardly go beyond the network of your friends and people that you hang around the most. You can hardly go beyond that. And then the other thing is you have to be very creative. And in creativity, I want to get that back to one of the points I have here. that have people think about it that while they were in school, people that were having thought that were on third class or pass, they were always very creative in developing ideas. The shocking thing is this: they hardly invite somebody on first class to their meetings. Hardly. Why? They feel this guy has nothing else in his brain than books. Why? Because you have not presented yourself as being resourceful beyond books.
Mm.
And that is why by the time you now graduate out of school, these guys that graduated with third class will be want to employ you. That had the first class. They will employ you. Somebody was sharing with me just last week. He graduated and then he has built a business while in school. He left with a 2-1, then a 2-2 in Nigeria. And then by the time he was graduating, he has built the business so much that he was employing his classmates that finished with 2-1. They will have, if somebody that was on first class made himself available, they will have included him in the business proposal, business this and that. But because you are not creative enough, all you know is books. And these guys will be developing empires, business empire, and they will be sidetracking you, thinking that this guy has a first class or he has opportunity to jobs. But they fail to understand that your first class can only get you inside through the doors. You need much more than first class to keep you there. And then lastly, one thing I have had to learn the hard way, and which everybody has to continue to learn, is about office politics. You must understand, you must be sensitive, you must be smart, you must be able to understand office politics. Most of the things that people that graduate the first class fail to understand is that people that graduate with high good grades, or if you are out of school or whatever, is that school environment where they are hailing you, prof, is different from the work environment where they need you to solve problems. That is one side. In the process of solving your problem, you must be humble. That is why humility comes to play. So your humility plus your ability to understand office politics will help you to stay longer in an environment, in a professional career environment. How will somebody that has a PhD feel if they told you that you are going to be reporting to somebody that had a diploma? And there is somebody who has been on the job for, let's say, 20 years. Most of the time, within the confine of that company, your 50 PhD cannot get you that 20 years experience, because it is that same guy that will teach you what you're going to do. So you must be humble. What will your smart brain, what will your academic excellence help you to do in that case? You will learn faster in the process after this person would have taught you the way they do it. Because you are smarter, because you have good grades, you'll be able to help them to now streamline their process and come up with a better version. But you must first of all humble yourself and understand office politics. When you get a job, it's not a time to be bragging about your grades. That might send you to an early exit from that company. I'm telling you what you need to know beyond your good grades. I specifically put it at the last point. Office politics, understanding the dynamics of office politics can save your career forever. Because once you get to a new environment, you watch. You know what is happening. You know what they want. Each manager, each director has his own preference in what he wants from you or in a candidate. Give that person what he needs, and you will get what you want. Failure to do that, not compromisingly, get me, not doing something that will compromise, but understanding that this is what they need. Take, for example, maybe you are in an environment where people don't normally display their certificates. You know, there are some companies where people display their certifications, certificate, it is normal. Even your boss has his own spread out in his office or on his table. And maybe you now go to a company and none of the people there are displaying it. But because you have good grades, you want to show your distinctions, you want to show everything, you are displaying it. Sir, you might be setting yourself for early exit. Forget the smiling on their faces. You might be setting yourself up. So understanding office politics is key beyond your academic excellence if you really want to enjoy life as a professional and generally.
Thank you very much. We really want to appreciate you. Yeah, there are a few questions because I don't want to take so much of your time. It's already over 1 hour, almost 1 hour, 30 minutes now.
Wow, I didn't even know.
I know that you could go on and on, share experiences, stories, and because young people, let me tell you one of the reasons why this is going to be very, very effective. People want people to be real when we're having this kind of conversations. They know, and then it's always very good to share your stories so that it's not just like a facetious, you're just telling them points. These are things that you have experienced. They are not something that you just put down. Let me just put something down. People will be seeing me on Facebook. Like, no. These are things that you have proved. But somebody is very concerned about the issue of office politics.
Okay.
They are concerned that what is there not going to be a situation whereby if I want to play office politics, I may compromise my values, or I may be seen as somebody that is displaying high service. How do I manage situations whereby I need to do my work effectively, not compromising values, and not being seen as somebody that, because high service can be discerned even after a while. People will know. So how do I do balance that so that I don't compromise my values, I do my work effectively, and I don't want to be seen as somebody that is displaying some sort of high service.
Okay, thank you for that question. Now, understanding office politics has a number of things added to it. Part of it is your emotional intelligence, understanding body language.
Yeah.
You don't have to do eye service for them to know you are doing your job. You have job responsibilities. Maybe you just go to a company, job responsibilities. Yes, look at that. Go to your manager, ask them, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. Fine. But then while you are doing that, look at what exactly does your manager want in a person. Mind you, it is your manager that will give you promotion. It is your manager that will give you raise. If they are going to get you to the next level, your manager will make recommendation most of the time. In fact, if you be moving to another company, sometimes they may have to call your previous manager to ask about you from them. Pleasing your manager is not doing eye service, because you know that your progression within that company is partly dependent on how well you are doing with this person. So knowing what the environment looks like, what do they want in a person? Now, let me share one with you. There was a place I worked before where you don't have to tell somebody where you are going within the company. If you are going to be doing, nobody is really monitoring you to know, okay, where is Johnson? Johnson is in the toilet. Oh, where is Johnson is in the factory? Where is Johnson is in the office? Where is Johnson have gone for lunch? Where is Johnson? They believe that you should be able to manage your time. Once you are delivering your results, you are delivering your deliverables are not they are not behind. They are okay. Now, when I moved to my the another job, I found that my after 3 months when I did my performance review, after probation, I did a performance review, and then the comment I got was that, Johnson, people are saying that they don't usually see you in the production floor. They don't usually see you. They don't know where you are usually where you go. I was like, I was like, is it that I now have to be advertising where I'm going? I wasn't used to telling everybody that I'm going. Since I know I'm a professional, I should do what is right, sir. Later, I understood that in this environment, everybody must know where you are going at every point in time. That is understanding office politics. So I needed to adjust myself. If I'm going to ease myself, I say, I'm going to the toilet. If I'm going to the factory, I'm going to the factory. If I'm going anywhere, tell them I'm going so place. So that everybody must know in the team. By the time I would do my 6 month of mass review, sir, there was no comment like that. Everything was fine. So yeah, Johnson, really improved. You can see that. So it is not compromising your standards. It is in you aligning yourself to the dictates of your environment. Like I mentioned, say for example, you are a professional with certain certifications, and you are going to be working with somebody who does not have that certification. You want to first of all monitor, understand, will this person be comfortable with me put my certification as my signature in my emails? How do you know that? Look at things around yourself. Look at your colleagues and understand that how did they usually put their signature on their emails? Did they display CPP, BBB, other things? If not, sir, in order to keep your job, you better don't put it. That is understanding office politics. It will guide your decisions. You are about to go for a program that would enhance your career, and you look at the things around that environment. They do not usually support things that will enhance your own career, but things that is just solely tied to the company. You want to understand that before you start discussing your plans with them. That might be the door to your might be you'll be digging your grave in that company if you're not careful. That is just some of the things. It is not, you don't have to once it comes to compromising, hands up, I'm not doing this. No. As a professional, there are things that you shouldn't do. And as a Christian, there are things you cannot do. Once those boundaries are being crossed, you raise your hands. No, I can't do this. So office politics is it's not that. So I mean, your emotional intelligence has to come to play. You're being humble enough to ask questions which are pertinent to your success in that company also plays a role. And where else can you get those questions? From your colleagues and then from your managers.
Somebody said navigating office politics is like steering a ship.
That is it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So another thing, one more question. Somebody's asking that while in school and we are trying to succeed, that there's what is called competition. There's like people are competing to be the best in the class. And in the real world, it's not like that. But in offices, competition and collaboration, everybody's fighting to be the best, to be promoted, and all of that. Between competition and collaboration, which one should what mentality should a person carry along with him in succeeding?
Thank you for that question. Personally, I do not subscribe to competition. If I'm going to compete with anybody at all, I'm competing with myself. So note that. I share a quick story with you now. Let me share a quick story. When I was in Adric, I think my third semester in that school, somebody walked up to me, a classmate. He said, "Johnson, I'm pursuing you." He told me, "I'm pursuing you." He said it in Yoruba. I was sick last semester. That was why I didn't do well. In my personally, I said, well, I'm not pursuing anybody. So he asked me that, are you not pursuing this person as the best friend in our class? I'm not pursuing anybody. I am only competing with how can my result this semester be better than last semester. That is all that matters to me. And it's still the same mentality I have carried into my career. I am not competing with anybody. I am competing with myself. However, I collaborate with people like I'm collaborating with Mr. Philip. If we are not collaborating, probably somebody else will be doing this.
Yes.
Collaboration makes things easier. In collaboration, you are not competing with, you are not trying to outdo the other person. You are trying to draw from their strength to help your own weakness.
Yes.
That is collaboration. You don't compete. Do you know that very semester that this guy said he was pursuing me? I had better result than him again. Even for better result. And in fact, that semester I had my best results in that school. You don't compete with everybody. You are on a race just for yourself. Remain on your lane. Help people as much as you can, but do not compete. Now, instead of competing with people, let their successes, let their progresses motivate and encourage you. That is what I do. I let people, in fact, I go to them and ask questions. What do I need to do? Even in career, I talk to people. There are some mistakes that I've made, and they go, by the time I talk with you, no, Johnson should have done it that way. So you want to collaborate, you want to look, you know your own strength, you know where you are weak. Collaborating with others means that you are drawing from the strength of those people to help your own weakness. Now, I share one not too good story with you now. This happened to me too. Now, talking about people competing with other people, it's a bad mentality. I was in the school. And then there was a program, there was a course I did. Somebody was my senior, he's a senior. This happened to me when I was doing my master's. Senior. I wasn't competing with the person. And then there's this course we are doing. We are struggling with it. It was tough. We couldn't get textbooks to study for this. And we know that this man has a particular textbook he was using. We needed it, but we tried, we couldn't get. Myself and my friends. So when it was few weeks, maybe one week, I guess, a few days to the exam, this senior person now came out, Johnson, I have this textbook that this man is using. I have the textbook. And he now brought out the textbook from his shelf. And he gave us. So that was like for the whole of the semester, he left us alone to be struggling with that course. And then towards the exam, He now brought out the material. How do I know that the person was thinking we were competing? By the time the result of the exam came out, in the university where we went to here, we have A plus A. I had A in that course. And then my other friend, I think he had A. That we studied together. A or B plus. So by the time we met this senior colleague, he asked us, "Hey Johnson, how was the result?" I said, "I had A." He said, "Oh, that's why. Even me too, I had A during my time." So what does that tells me? It tells me that the person did not want us to have A plus. That was why he withheld the material that would have helped us to prepare better. Imagine if he had given us the material 1 month, 2 months to the exam, how much we would have dug deep into the material to understand it, and he was giving us few days to the exam. And we had A, was saying, no, even me too, I had A. You couldn't have come in on that. That is somebody that is trying to compete with you on that platform.
But you mentioned something as a bad mentality because, for instance, I think from this angle, if he had A plus and you had A plus, the A's, is it finishing where they are supplying the?
That is a problem with people that compete with others, that sees others as being a threat to them. And most of the time, you want to be careful with such people when you see them. Anybody that is always talking about compete, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a competitive spirit. Yes, be competitive, but do not feel envious of others. Don't think other people's success will put your own success in jeopardy. No, do not see other people's breakthroughs and success as being a threat to yours. No, you have different destinies and you are following different paths. Like I told you earlier, I said that if anybody should teach his classmates anything, it doesn't mean that they are going to remove that from his head. No, it doesn't mean that you now suddenly go blank in the exam. No, in fact, you are going to know more because you are going to have better idea. So collaborating instead of competing will get you to your destination faster than competing with the other person. So either in school or in career, you want to ensure that you are collaborating, drawing strength from others to help your own weakness, and let them also draw from your own strength too, so that you can complement one another. Because I see collaboration as being complementary.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There's one more question. That's the fun. Can we take one more question?
That's fine.
Okay. So the last question is about how do I have set target for myself, and in the past not been able to achieve my targets. Am I setting too high expectations for myself, or what should I do? Or am I setting unrealistic targets for myself, or what should I do? Do I need help to talk to somebody about setting goals, or do I need to have somebody that I'm accountable to? How do I set my target and meet my targets?
The person has actually answered this question. He has helped me and he has even answered the question. Now, when you set goals or you set targets, do you hit it all the time? No. When I set goals, do I hit my goals all the time? The answer is no. Remember what I said. It is not in the achievements. It is in what will make of you. Now, if you set a goal, you are constrained to certain regimental procedures. Now, take for example, if I set a goal that I must have perfect GPA in a semester. Okay, perfect GPA in a semester means that I must score A's in all my grades. Okay, good. If that is the case, I now break it down. How do I do that? That means that all of my assignments, I must be hitting A's target. That means that all of my tests, I must be hitting A's target. That means that everything I'm doing, I must study. If last semester or last time I was only studying for 1 hour or 2 hours, and I in my heart now I'm getting that okay, I could have done better. Okay, I'm going to increase it to 4 hours every day. Now, your ability to constrain yourself, to train yourself to maintaining that 4 hours of studying consistently will make something in you. At the end of the semester, you might have that A, yes. You might drop to B. But if you had a B in that course, do you know that you have been able to train yourself to manage your time properly? Probably what maybe the take away from that semester, from that course, is that you have been able to manage your time effectively. Now, what does that mean? By the time you are going to the next course or the next semester, you think of, okay, where are the lapses? What can I adjust? So the adjustment will be that, okay, probably I need to be accountable to someone. Maybe there are some days that you did not actually study. Maybe there are some days you went to work like sometimes if you are in Nigeria or in Africa, you watch EPL and you spend that 2 hours and you couldn't finish your 4 hours and stuff. Okay, maybe I don't have to be watching 2 EPLs in a week. Maybe I have to reduce to one. You want to just look at that and then you are accountable to somebody. And then that thing will be like this, okay? Probably those 4 hours are too much for me. Maybe I should go with 3 hours. Probably you have discovered in hindsight now, using the power of reflection, you have been able to understand that, okay, after my 3rd hour, after the 3rd hour, I am not getting anything. I'm only glancing through the pages. Okay, probably 3 hours is my effective time. Then that 1 hour, maybe I'll just go and sleep, enjoy 1 hour of extra sleep, which will help me. That might be what you might need to adjust. And then another one that if you look at your ability, maybe having perfect GPA at this time might not be attainable. Maybe I should say I make myself maybe out of 4 points. Let me target 3.8 for now. Let's see. Probably. But then if you know your ability can go beyond that, setting too low target is actually at your own detriment. And setting too high target will overstress you. Then if you are now unable to now hit that target, you become dejected, you will feel like you are a failure. You are not a failure. You have only gone beyond your limits. So being able to set targets within what you are able to do is actually key. And that might come with the help of a coach, a mentor, or somebody, or an accountability partner.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, sir. It's been a very wonderful time, and I know that this is very rich because I'm still going to go back to watch again all the points mentioned. It's been a very great time, and I'm really, really excited that we're able to do this within a short time. Sometimes I really don't, I'm saying this I don't want to take access and relationship for granted. Within a short time that I communicated with you, you made yourself available. I really want to say a very big thank you to you for creating this time to be with us. And we also trust that subsequently, when we have issues like this that borders on sharing experiences with people, with young people, we hope that you will be available to be of service and impact to us. That's our desire.
Yeah, I want to thank you for the privilege. I do not take it for granted. It's my heart desire that I'll be able, I impact thousands of people. It's my heart desire that somebody will wake up tomorrow and be happy that they listened to Johnson today. If my heart desire that after I've long gone, somebody would say, "Oh, it was because of what Johnson said or wrote that that is helping me now." Or one parent would say, "Oh, Johnson, it was because of the comments or your discussion at a platform like this that changed the course of my child's career, my child's education." That is my joy. It makes no sense if after I'm gone, or if after some time and nobody is talking about my impact. It doesn't make sense. So when you reached out to me, of course, I looked at Sunday most of the time. I'm busy, but I think, no, this is an opportunity to reach a larger population, a larger society. I had to create that time, and it's because of your own social capital that you have deposited. It's nothing just happened. Nothing just happened. If you don't have anything in your social capital account, sir, you will draw nothing from it.
Yes.
I will find one excuse. Mr. Philip, I'm sorry at this point in time, might not be available maybe some other time. You begin to tell grammar, speak grammar and something like that. But I feel like Mr. Philip has been doing a good job. I can adjust my schedule, and then I did that. And then one of the things I understand is this. I mean, I was talking about success. Success is the accomplishment of a goal or a purpose. Now, when we talk about purpose, talk about something that has been predetermined. Now, in place of what? Something God has predetermined for somebody to attain or to achieve in life. And it is not just in academics, it cuts across everything. So, your ability to align yourself with the purpose of God in your life is actually what will make you to be fulfilled in life. If you are successful academically and you are a failure in career, you have not fulfilled purpose. Because my understanding of purpose is that you succeed in every area of life. Now, let me just use one illustration as I close. There are many parts that make up a computer. A computer can do so many things. Number one, a computer can type. We are using a computer now to do this video. A computer, some people use computer to code, to do a lot of things. Now, the manufacturer of the computer had a lot of things in mind when he made the computer. If after the person has manufactured the computer and the only thing the computer can do is to type, that computer is a failure. Because there are some inherent attributes in that computer that has not been made use of. The same thing is applicable to us. We have different compartments in our lives. And it is in all, the Bible says, "I wish above all things that thou may prosper, that thou be prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper." Your soul contains so many things. Your life, your intellect, your ability, everything that makes you are there, and you are to prosper in all things. So I tell you, sir, that you need to fulfill purpose. Not even either, in career, in academics, in marriage, in relationship, in every area of life. So that by the time you are stepping out of this world, you are stepping out empty. It is my prayer that by the time I will be saying bye-bye to this world, I want to die empty. And I pray God helps all of us to be able to die empty.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a very, very fruitful and amazing session. Fortunately, this is going to be maybe after this session, there's going to be a break to do other things, trusting God to open our eyes to know the next thing. One thing that I've discovered is that if you are solution driven, you will not lack inspiration. I learned that this year. I kept getting what to do as I interact with young people every day. Now school has resumed. People are already setting goals. I want to get A pluses in all these courses. So this is very important for people to have right attitude, collaborate, whatever you have learned, be able to share. So I know some people will find this session very, very applicable. Career people, students, young person, high school, everyone. So it's been a very, very robust time with you, sir. And I want to thank you again. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Yes.
Thank you.
And I want to say bye bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Wonderful time. Thank you, sir.